Peace and blessings is real. First and foremost, want to give all praises, glory, and honor to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, through His only begotten Son, Yahushua, for allowing His word to come out, man. I hope you sincere brothers and sisters are truly edified by today's word. Before I get into this word, I just want to say, me and my brother, we did have church today. We had a powerful word today, man. And for some strange reason, it didn't record. Okay, I'm talking about we probably had one of the best church sessions that we've had in a long time. We had today, man. And it's unfortunate that the word was not being able to be recorded, man. Such a shame. So we sincerely apologize for that. It was a powerful word, and it definitely would have been a treat for y'all to really hear this word today, man. But in the 10 plus years of us doing this thing, we have experienced this maybe once before or twice at the most. So it's not a total shock, but it has happened before. So we sincerely apologize for not being able to bring you this word in our normal setting. But I have a compassion for this word. I feel like those that follow us are still looking for that food, still looking for that gospel, the weekend gospel. So I felt as though I would try to recreate this word and still give it to you in hopes that you are still edified, in hopes that you still get the food that you're accustomed to getting from us, man. What I want to start this word off is speaking about the judgment, okay, that the Lord have against women. A lot of y'all might say, what do you mean the Lord's judgment against women? Well, what do I mean is I've never seen a time, I'm 48 years old, I've never seen a time that so many women have been murdered, okay? Like, this is an all-time high, and here in Milwaukee, it's just happening like an everyday thing, man. And that ought not be, because that hasn't always been the case. So when you look at that perspective from a worldly sense, you're not going to even think that a lot of these women murders are predicated to the Lord's judgment on them. You have to have your spiritual binoculars on. You got to have your spiritual cap on to be able to look at these all-time high murders of women and understand that's just the Lord's judgment. Look what happened what Eve did in the Garden of Eden. She knew better, but she decided she was going to do what she wanted to do anyway. And she got judged for it. And that judgment is still out there right now. And then look at Lot's wife in Genesis 19. Everybody know what was going on in Sodom at the time. A lot of homosexuality, a lot of things that outraged the Lord. So Lot and Lot's wife and his two daughters had an opportunity to escape Sodom before the Lord brought that pandemonium overdose, aka total destruction. And it was just one thing, and that was not to look back. Once you get up out of Sodom, you were not to look back. And if you look back, you would die. So the Lord didn't just tell Lot and his wife and his daughters to run fast as you can and get out of Sodom. He said, when you get out, don't look back. Because if you look back, your ass is dead. So Lot understood this. Lot's wife heard and understood this. And their children heard and understood this. And what happened? Lot's wife looked back. And she was judged. She was turned into a pillar of salt. You see that? So right there, AKA, the Lord killed her out of disobedience. And when you look at the women today, they are very disobedient to the Lord. They are very disobedient to their man. In Isaiah chapter 3, it speaks about the judgment on the daughters of Zion. It speaks about how haughty and proud you women are. Have no respect for man. A lot of y'all think y'all bigger than man, better than a man. A lot of y'all feel like y'all can whoop man. So when y'all getting in these domesticated, violent situations, you find yourself doing battle, willingly wanting to do battle, willingly want to have confrontation with man. Knowing you the weaker vessel, knowing you ain't going to be able to overtake this man, but you will still take it there. One thing leads to the next, and now you murdered by hands of a man. But when you look at it from a spiritual perspective, nah, that's just the Lord's judgment. Now, let me tell you this, because you got simple-minded people who say, how dare you say the Lord give men permission to kill women? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, the Lord controls it all. So whether whatever a man does violently towards another woman, or a man or a woman for that matter, the Lord has to sign off on that. If it's murder, if the end result is murder, the Lord has to sign off on it. If that's the Lord's will. If it ain't the Lord's will, it ain't going down like that. But these women have been getting killed at an alarming rate. Not only in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but all over the world. You're seeing a lot of women are coming up dead that ought not be. So when you line up the Lord's judgment according to this book, that's the best spiritual explanation to why a lot of women are falling victim to murder, man. I don't condone domestic violence. I don't condone any man abusing women. I don't condone none of it. But the truth to the matter of it is that the Lord's judgment is being heard when it comes to these women, man. In Ecclesiastes 7:26, it says, and I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth God, who we know is Yahweh, shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Check that out, man. Now, when we go back and analyze Ecclesiastes 7:26, this is the mentality of woman. And part of this mentality is what's leading to her getting into trouble that she's in, aka leading to death and murder. Listen closely in Ecclesiastes 7 verse 26. It says, and I find more bitter than death. Okay, more bitter than death. So let's just stop there. Anybody watching this video, if you've lost a loved one, you know how painful and bitter that is. I lost my dad on my birthday last year. Okay? I lost my auntie this past February of this year. And I lost my uncle a couple years ago, man. And all three of them was very hurtful, very painful. Okay? You know, my wife lost her son over a decade ago. That was painful. She lost her mom over a decade ago. That was painful. Me being her husband, it was painful for me to even see the pain she went through. And as painful as death is, the Bible says women are more bitter than that. So now, when you look at when a woman engaged in confrontation with man, more than likely, it's going to spiral out of control. It's going to get very nasty, very disrespectful, very out of hand. And what typically happens, some sort of violence takes place and it gets taken way out of control and a woman is now dead when she ought not be. But when you look at it from the spiritual vantage point, it's part of the Lord's judgment, man. The Lord gonna kill us all. My point is, name a time where women have been dying at the rate that they're dying today by way of murder. Ecclesiastes 7:26, and I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets. So a lot of times these women will trap you. Okay? They will trap you, man. And you got to be careful. It says, and her hands as bands, her hands as chains, her hands as handcuffs. So once she locked you in, dude, she has demasculated you, and now she has feminized you. Now you got estrogen in you, and you're going to act extra emotionally out of control. And it's going to lead you to doing some dumb shit. Unreal. But listen, it says, whoso pleaseth God, who we know as Yahweh, shall escape from her. In other words, if you're a man of the Lord and you're doing the things, if you live in your life according to the book and you have a relationship with the Lord, you'll be able to escape her. Why? Because when you're dealing with this Bible, the Bible is the cheat code that you can use when dealing with a woman. Most women haul ass right away if I told them I live according to the book. They'll be interested in all of that, and then when I tell them, I'm in love with the Lord, the Lord come first. The Bible come first. They ain't trying to hear that shit. I told my wife many years ago, when she walked through the door at my house when we had separate living arrangements in the past, I told her, I said, if you think you're going to come between me and this book, there go the door. What am I saying? I'm trying to please the Lord. So when you please the Lord, he gives you the cheat code, which is this Bible, how to avoid a woman and the ways that she could lead you down a dark, dangerous path. And that's by way of killing her and your ass in prison for the rest of your life when you could have walked away. It says, but the sinner shall be taken by her. So if it's a man that don't got the Lord in his life, and he's not a spiritual man, and he's a 100% worldly nigga, oh man, that woman gonna have you doing the goofy. And a lot of these men are the ones that's out here resorting into violence of killing these women. It's never cool to put your hands on a woman. It's never cool to murder a woman. It's never cool. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, the Lord controls all. And if it's his will for you to die, that man ain't gonna kill you. The Lord gonna kill you. But when you see it on the news, it's gonna look like a man killed that woman. But when you look at it from your spiritual binoculars, you're gonna understand. The Lord, the Lord did that, understand me. Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. The judgment on women is serious. It's serious, man. And it's just a shame. What I want to name this word is the Lord sends a Dear Abby letter to the daughters of Zion. The Lord is sending y'all a letter. And in that letter, he's saying, get your shit together. He's saying, humble down. He's saying all the disobedient and the disrespect that y'all walking around having. Y'all better nip that in the bud. Because he coming to get, not only is he coming to get them ass hairs, he coming to get them vaginal hairs. He coming to get them coochie hairs. Yeah, y'all ain't see that one coming. The Lord coming to get them coochie hairs. Keep playing. Keep playing. To be continued.